I would rather pay 9 months, you know, on it, spend 9 months on that child than for me to spend 18 years, you know.
Or 5 or 2 or 3 months, because once that baby is born and you hold it, oh, the baby's so cute. He looked just like me.
He don't look nothing like me. I know he didn't look like me when he came out of there.
Your mama came in the room and she confirmed, and
no, mama already knew from the jump.
We started.
That ain't none of his baby.
We started bonding, and
that ain't none of his baby.
Unfortunately,
mama begging for you to get a DNA test.
That happens really quickly. There are times when she's by herself, and you may think that she's the best woman in the world and she's all about you, but she may have a weak moment when she's out with her friends. She may have a weak moment when she's just at the house. Y'all been fighting all week. She may just have a weak moment, and then bam. The maintenance man.
Dude she met at the gas station. The rapper. The CEO at work.
Alright, so let's just get into it, guys. The reason that mandatory DNA testing is a good idea is because simply, and we'll come back to this, the main reason is there is no valid reason to oppose it. There is no valid reason to oppose it. I'll say it again. There is no valid reason to oppose it.
In which a lot of women would disagree.
All you're doing is validating the truth. All you're doing is taking that 99.9% and putting it on paper. There is no reason to deny that. There's no reason to say, I don't want to do that. There's no reason. You're exposing the truth. So why would you oppose exposing the truth? Who denies exposing the truth? Ask yourself that question.
Right. I think from a man's perspective, mandatory DNA testing is beneficial because here's my thing. I would rather pay for 9 months of that child being in the womb than to pay 18 years. Because once you sign on that birth certificate, you have pretty much legally signed your rights away. You've legally agreed to take care of that child for the rest of your life.
And all that comes with it.
And I've seen it happen before where a man will sign on that birth certificate, didn't get the DNA test, and then he finds out 3 years later that it's not his, and now he has proof because he went and got a DNA test done 3 years ago, and the court doesn't care.
And that's not right. And we need to right things before they become wrong. So that's exactly what this does. Up front, mandatory DNA testing is going to right any wrongs that anybody could be thinking to play on someone. Because at the end of the day, it's so emotionally damaging to lie about fatherhood of a child.
Facts.
It's ridiculous.
Facts. That's a lot of money. And the thing that really bothers me is a lot of women go out here and get knocked up or whatever by these high profile or high value guys, you know, that are 6'3" and making 6 figures and whatever the case it is, because that's what they desire, but that guy really doesn't care for them like that. So yeah, you was good for one night on the town, maybe a couple weekends here and there, but nothing more. He doesn't want to make you wifey material.
And you're mad about it.
So now you go and put that responsibility on this gentleman over here that really does care about you, you knowing he's not even the father.
It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. And it's pathetic.
So, safety concerns, which brings us to the safety concerns.
Yeah, there are some safety concerns for failures. I truly believe that when it goes into law and it becomes an actual thing and it goes into effect, we're possibly going to see some increases in crime. Okay, ladies, if you've been lying,
women or from the guys?
If you've been lying about who's who, if you've been lying about who fathered a child, there is a possibility that somebody is going to take that to another level.
Right.
Okay? Because you already did. So don't be upset or surprised about it. You already did that. You took it to another level when you decided to place ownership, love, care, importance, responsibility, and you knew that there was a possibility that wasn't it, and it wasn't true.
Facts. And that's why I said, me speaking from a man's perspective, I would rather pay 9 months, spend 9 months on that child than for me to spend 18 years,
Or 5 or 2 or 3 months, because once that baby is born and you hold it, oh, the baby's so cute. He looked just like me.
He don't look nothing like me. I knew he didn't look like me when he came out of there.
Your mama came in the room and she confirmed, and
no, mama already knew from the jump. That ain't none of his baby.
We started bonding, and
that ain't none of his baby.
Unfortunately,
mama begging for you to get a DNA test.
That happens really quickly.
What, mom?
Mom. First off, we should always listen to mom. Mom knows what she's talking about. Moms be
on point.
Mom is the real MVP.
Moms be on point.
Always. Mom is always the real MVP. But that can cause issues, right? Because without the mandatory DNA testing, if a man is to request it, somehow he's wrong for requesting proof and confirmation that this is indeed his seed.
Yeah,
Which is ridiculous. Mom is the real MVP. If mom is telling you to get a DNA test and the woman is somehow making you feel bad about that, then you should stop and ask yourself why. Again, is proving something that we both know to be true a concern?
And it's crazy because, my real mom, she doesn't really get into my situations. And, I kind of keep to myself when it comes to relationships, dating, stuff like that. Unless it's just, at an extreme level, where it just comes out of me. But my godmother, she's one of those, she knows the game, you know what I'm saying, that women play. And so she tries to enlighten me and educate me on things without, still letting me be an adult. But she tries to warn me of those things. And, she's told me several times to get a DNA test. Not because she necessarily felt like it wasn't my child, but she would rather me get a DNA test and it be my child than not. Because if there's, like what women always say, red flags from the gate. You know what I'm saying? With, let's say you and the child's mother or not getting along, or, just certain things that a mom can see from afar. A lot of times we overlook the red flags because we know so much positive things about the person. But, so I don't think that... I think it's very good to listen to mom. Mom can be right a lot of times. My godmom has been right almost every time. I'd say 90% of the time. No lie.
One time for the moms. We're just going to take a moment to...
A mom will go hard for her child.
One time for the moms. Yes. And if you still have your mom, just be thankful. Because one time for the moms, always.
What do you... Oh, you got something else?
Yes. What I have is the upper hand that women have without mandatory DNA testing. And really this topic kind of falls into something really simple that everybody really needs to think about. It only takes a few minutes to get pregnant. It only takes a few minutes to be implanted with that DNA, right? That DNA. It only
but
takes
it's a lifetime of responsibility.
Right, but let's just go back into the it only takes a few minutes part. And the reason that's important is because even if you're with this person 90% of the time, you have to go to work, sir. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have to hang out with your friends. You have to see your family. There are times when she's by herself. And you may think that she's the best woman in the world and she's all about you, but she may have a weak moment when she's out with her friends. She may have a weak moment when she's just at the house. Y'all been fighting all week. She may just have a weak moment and then, bam, there's a baby. And you think it's yours, but is it?
Yeah, that's why I'm not really big on the women that like to do a lot of the club hopping.
It's not even club hopping.
Yeah, it ain't just that, but that's, to me, that's kind of a...
That's a direct indicator, yes.
I'm not saying all women that go to the club are that way, but it just kind of makes me look twice before going in.
Yeah, because if you're club hopping, it's a lot easier for you to be caught up in that type of lifestyle. But even if you're going steady in a good, productive relationship, it is not hard for the maintenance man or
the CEO at work,
the
rapper,
anybody that you just meet for a second, and it's not hard for you. We're all human.
Dude, she met at the gas station.
Just remember, we are all human, and anybody can make a mistake, but you should not be responsible for a mistake that somebody else made, which is why this mandatory DNA testing it's a good thing.
And no woman should, if you, it's a thing, if you are a woman and you are not in the wrong, you know that's 100% his child, why would you not let him get the DNA test?
If you have no doubts, fill it out, that form that says, let's go ahead and do that DNA testing. If you have no doubts, fill it out.
If I was a woman, I'd probably be like, babe, you want to get a DNA test?
Right.
Not, and I wouldn't say it like that, but I would let that person know, look, if that's what you want to do, you have all right to do it. I would open the door to that. Absolutely. Saying, look, I know 100% that this is yours. I've been with nobody else, but if you want to do that, I'm just letting you know.
Just as a peace of mind thing.
Yeah.
Like, just up front, I'm just going to let you know, look, this is...
I already know what
100%. You don't have to worry or guess. I don't need to catch you in the room with the baby, swabbing the baby's mouth. Like, we already know this. So if you have any concerns or if you have any doubts, which are valid, because, again, we're all humans, anybody can make a mistake. Nobody is 100% anything. So, yes, go do it. Perfectly fine with it.
It might seem strange to some people, that... if a woman were to say to a guy, oh, do you want to get a DNA test or something like that, might seem strange to some people. Mm-hmm. But in the end, a real man would probably thank his wife for that. You know what I'm saying? It might seem strange in the beginning, like, oh, why would she just tell me to get a DNA test? That might throw red flags. But if she's just think about it, a woman that does have something to hide would never say that.
No, she's going to get an attitude. It's going to be, you don't trust me.
She won't even bring it up.
You want to doubt it, or you want to abandon your baby before it's even here. We're not saying any of that. You don't have to agree to any of that. But that's why this mandatory DNA testing becomes such a good thing, because it takes away that extra argument, that extra stress, that extra... Nobody needs all of that. It doesn't have to be that difficult. And I'm glad that legality is starting to recognize that this is a win for the fathers.
You talking about the legal system?
Absolutely.
The justice system is so...
Ooh, but maybe this is a step in the right direction.
Probably the only thing they done stepped in the right direction that I done seen.
Different topic, different video. But, let's see.
What you think Kevin Samuels would have to say about this?
Kevin Samuels. He would say, I can't impersonate him, but he would definitely just say, King. I think that's how you refer to the men. King, if she doesn't want to let you get a DNA test, run away from her. Block her number, don't talk to her ever again. I think that he would say
Samuels was the real deal, though. I ain't gonna even lie.
There's nothing wrong with it. Again.
It took... Because Samuels wasn't even like a really hardcore dude, but it took a kind of soft type dude to be the voice for the most of the man, to say what a lot of hardcore dudes out there wouldn't come on social media and say, wouldn't come out to the public and say. So right. Like you were saying earlier, that you felt like Kevin Samuels wasn't... What did you say before about how he was speaking?
Kevin Samuels had some very valid points.
Mm-hmm, but
if anything, it was his delivery that was very difficult to digest for most people, for most women. But that doesn't mean that the message wasn't important or that the message wasn't valid.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like that's where a lot of the guys, really rocked with Kevin Samuels. Yeah, he might have said some things out of hand or whatever. But he said a whole lot of things that needed to be said. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here. Mandatory DNA testing. Like that's too many women out there sleeping with the football player or the celebrity or the rapper or the 6-figure guy or the 6-foot tall guy
or the married man
or that's a good one, or the married man, and then coming home to the man that's really out here just really trying to make a living, minimum wage or $10 an hour or whatever it is, and really that responsible dude, and really likes her, really willing to put that foot forward and go 100% for a child that's not even his, and that's not right.
It's not right. There's no better way to say that. It's just not right.
What do you think Charleston White would have to say about this?
I have no words for him.
You don't like Charleston White?
I have no words.
Sound like you don't like Charleston White. I like Charleston White. I rock with the dude. I like Charleston White because he raw and uncut. He real. He talk about topics. He'll say things that offend people. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I'm saying he doesn't. It's a lot of us afraid to say certain things in public or on social media or whatever because we're afraid that. Know what?
I don't think that's what he is at all. I think he's simply controversial in a very purposeful and.
Well, you know what he was though, right?
He's very controversial in a intentional way. Simple.
But he used to be a what they call it, start with an A.
Ad.
No. Well, Tupac mom used to be like when they fight for the black community and all that. You know what I'm talking about? What is it? Activist. Yeah. He used to be an activist.
Yeah.
So he already got that. He's already got that.
But that's not what he's doing. So from what I've seen.
No, but I'm saying he got that same. When you're an activist, you have to have that bold